I'm going to persevere. I'm going to punch through the boundaries. I'm going to become, that person that they say I can't be, and I'm going to be successful no matter what. But even though I have done that, there's still this back here, this song. In the back of my neck, the back of my head, the back of my mind, trying to hit this beat on time. Keep my eyes wide open, looking on the horizon. I'm putting my time in, digging up this mine, searching for a hairy diamond, looking for these nuggets of truth. I need to find them, but until then, I'll carry on grinding. 1 year older, alcoholic former. I can feel the dark side getting colder. I made a deal with the devil on my shoulder. All I can do to keep the demons in the corner. Give my pig a fish, feed him for a day, but don't take away his bottle of Tanqueray. 1 more drop and we'll be okay. Or maybe I should save it for a rainy day. Take another trip down to Total Wine. Pour another drink in my cup. Drink it all down to the bottom line. All this money, it'll never be enough. Now I think I'm feeling fine, so I polish this rhyme like a diamond in the rough. Try to free my mind, put my nose to the grind, put my pen to the paper when things get tough. Don't believe in the lies of he, cause I'm a super blind man, but I still see the blackest eyes like a black-eyed pea. Words crystallize as I'm flowing on the beat. Look into the water at my reflection. 5'12" with a mayonnaise complexion. Drink some whale tail from my depression. Captain Ahab on a ship with no direction. I am a man sitting on an island alone with 2 gin bottles and a microphone. Writing my message on a scroll and throw it into the Dead Sea like a skipping stone. Spinning in this vortex unknown. Riding on a whale until I'm home. It's not that deep, but don't look below, cause before you know it, you'll get caught in the undertow. Take another trip down to Total Wine. Pour another drink in my cup. Drink it all down to the bottom line. All this money, it'll never be enough. Now I think I'm feeling fine, so I polish this rhyme like a diamond in the rough. Try to free my mind, put my nose to the grind, put my pen to the paper when things get tough.
As a resident of Miami-Dade County, it is your right to know the names and likenesses of sex offenders living in your area. As a public service, we have created this videotape so that you and your friends and family can stay aware, stay safe, and maybe even have a little fun. Enjoy.
State of Florida has asked us to disclose our sexual crimes to you. We were bad, but now we're good. We're moving into your neighborhood. You know we're trying our best to be functioning members of society. We're not here to start no trouble. We're legally required to do the sex offender shuffle.
I'm Larry Arthauer, and I'll refrain from touching my neighbor's kids again. What I did was not too kind, but I'm a nice guy, you'll come to find. I've got a backyard and a real nice pool. Y'all should come over for a barbecue. We can make some cold drinks in my blender, but do keep in mind that I'm a sex offender.
Vernon Douglas is my name. My battery arrest is what brought me fame. But there's much more to know about me. I love to dance and I love to ski. I zip and zoom on through the snow. Just strap on my boots and watch me go. But I can't ski until December. Till then I'm just a sex offender.
I'm Charles Dolan, dropping rhymes. I've been arrested 7 times. I know that sounds like a lot. 3 of those times were for vandalism. Feel real bad, I got caught. Might do it again, probably not. I'm not here to make pretenses. I'm here because of my sex offenses.
I'm Sam Pound, I'm number 1. Apologizing for what I've done. In case you were wondering what that was, I snuck into a bathroom and I eat no truffles. I'm just here to do the sex offender shuffle.
Hey everybody, I'm Laura Hughes, proving girls can do it too. And by it, I mean touch your cousin. Was it worth it? No, it wasn't. You won't find me in your child's playset, cause I gotta wear this ankle bracelet. I'm not here to go on a bender, I'm here because I'm a sex offender.
Last name Bermholt, first name Mark. I'm moving in somewhere on your block. Not in a house, but in a van. If you need me to move it, I sure can. The last thing I want is any trouble. I've learned my lesson from the sex offender shuffle.
I'm the one they call Arthur Chase. They said I didn't have to show my face. My first trial ended in a hung jury. If I'm found guilty, they'll unblur me. I'm not the necrophiliac Arthur Chase. That's a different Arthur Chase. I'm not here to be my own defender. I'm here because I'm possibly a sex offender.
Okay, real quick, I'm not like these people. Okay, this is an extortion plot by my ex-wife, who's the only witness, and she's trying to take away my kids. And if... I'm not here to pack my duffel, I'm just here to do the sex offender shuffle.
State of Florida has asked us to disclose our sexual crimes to you. We were bad, but now we're good. We're moving into your neighborhood. We're obliged to admit the crimes for which we were convicted. We're not here to start no trouble. We're legally required to do the sex offender shuffle.
She walks in like a wildfire, neon in the night, horror and hellfire. Yeah, she's burning up the lights. Every salty comment's just another spark she bends. She turns their crying into content. That's the message that she sends. And all the fanboys tremble. They don't know how to cope. Every meltdown in her mentions gets dragged without hope. They call her Mommy Hellfire like she's some kind of myth. Empress of the salt storm, crowned with every angry riff. She's the queen of your delusion, standing tall above the noise. All your rage just fuels her power. All your tears become her voice. They worship every movement like she's lightning in the dark. She doesn't need your praise, but she ignites it like a spark. Oh, horror and hellfire, mommy of the meltdown empire. Salt in the sky as the fanboys cry. She turns every tantrum into fire. Yeah, Empress Gooner, Empress old mommy. They idolize her, falling down like zombies. She just laughs as the chaos grows. Fast pace, heartbreak, that's the show. She reacts like a comet, leaving trails across the screen. Every salty fanboy shouting, but she's ruling like a queen. Mommy Gooner, that's the name they whisper in the threads. Not because she needs the title, cause she's living rent-free in their heads. The jealousy is rising like a tidal wave of pain. Every fanboy throwing shade just keeps repeating her name. She's the storm they can't escape, the myth they try to claim. But she's horror and hellfire. She's the spark that lights the flame. She's the crown chaos breaker, dripping confidence and heat. Every salt
Hello. I was not fully prepared. My bad. I stepped away for like 2 seconds and wasn't paying attention. I'm well aware of what's going on with TKM. I'm well aware of their bullshit. Also, Harmon, light mode, really? 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 I roll. Hello, everybody. I know I've been gone for a little while. I'm sure you guys are aware that I've been having some stuff going on at home that makes it more difficult for me to be online very often. I have 2 senior puppos that have been having some senior issues that I have to take care of, and they can't come upstairs with me into my room because of it. So I get my free time every once in a while, and I'm spending it now. If you're not noticing, the VTuber model goal is still there. I have removed the Harmon reading thing because I'm going to, once things die down a little bit, I'm going to be reading those anyways. I'm going to get the Wheel of Pain out, and I'm going to spin that shit to see which one I'm going to read next. It'll probably be a weekly thing. Don't know what day. I'll figure it out. And once I figure it out, I'll let you know. But I'll be on a weekly basis reading part of one of his books. I'm probably end up being reading all of them on stream. And the funniest part about that is that because I said that on Twitter, and Harmon searched his name, he's followed me on Twitter. And my ass is giggling like crazy ever since. Oh my god. Hilarious. But anyways, Gara turned me on to the fact that Harmon reacted to his last video on him. By him, I mean, he reacting to Gara's video on Harmon. Okay, so we're reacting to a reaction here. Oh boy. I saw this already, and I giggled so much, I knew I needed to pull this up, because holy fuck is this dude salty as hell, and I don't believe a single fucking word he says here. Besides the fact that he's jobless. And the reason why. I don't believe what his reasoning for being jobless is. But yes, I'm aware of Team Kill Media. Fuck them. They can get bent. And I'm glad that their striking campaign has been reversed by YouTube. Thank you, YouTube, for doing the right thing for fucking once. But without further ado, we're gonna listen to Harmon cry and cope and seethe and mold because, it sustains me. Your tears sustain me, Harmon.
I don't like doing reactions to Gara the Rage videos. Like, this is a low IQ just drama channel, but
it's not low IQ. He's a lot smarter than you are. He has a hot wife. Well, hot girlfriend. She acts like she's his wife. Hot girlfriend that bones him on the regular. He has a job that's respected. He has his own place, which I believe he has his own place. I don't believe you do. And he has actual money that he could spend on playing games while you continue to use your mother's money that she gives you for allowance. Harmon.
I do think I am gonna have to put more effort into calling these people out, because there have been some allegations about some things I've said and done that do need to be put to rest. So
making fun of you is fun as hell, Harmon. That's why. If you can't handle it, get out of the kitchen. Can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen, go the fuck away, please. Yay! Fiance, actually. Okay, I'm close then. Gonna soon to be wife. Good for him. I was not aware that they were engaged.
All the years that I have covered Harmon Smith, I'm going to tell you guys something right now. This has to be the most ridiculous video I've ever covered on Harmon Smith.
Why do you say that every time?
This even surpasses when he would...
Because you continue to get more ridiculous. You continue to get more ridiculous with each fucking video that you post. Aw, thank you for the 5. Make it then you should have put a leash on it. What? Oh. That goes on up there. Okay, cool. But yeah, Here's $5 more for poor babies. Also, I'd say Harmon needs to get some pee, but I don't want Harmon breeding. Also, Gara and Scroll are engaged. Yes, I'm aware of that now. I was not aware of that previously. He must have said it in a stream that I missed. So, I wasn't aware of that. Again, congratulations to them, and thank you for the 5, Ed Shadowbearer. I appreciate you.
Lose his complete and utter mind over the Game Awards because no, it's more ridiculous than that.
So he's retarded. He can't speak clearly. He can't articulate. You know, like I said.
No, he's making fun of you. If you're stupid enough to think that that's him, like, actually talking to you, then you're dumb. Which I'm not surprised by, because you are, what? Dumb.
Said a retard, but okay.
I'm not joking.
You are a retard. Look at that eye roll. Look at that fucking eye roll. You are such a sassy bitch, but you don't deserve to be sassy. You're pathetic.
You have to see the ridiculous takes this man had about stocks in Nintendo and how Nintendo is doing financially. You are not going to believe your...
Happy birthday, Shop Pack. Everybody say happy birthday, Shop Pack. Happy vaginal dischargement day. Lol.
And oh, before we dive right into that, I want to give a personal thanks to the developers of Kotima and Academy Citadel. No, this is not a sponsorship. They gave me a review, well, not a review code, but a free Steam key to show off their game to you guys. And I thought to myself for a second, you know what? Let me go ahead and just show the gameplay to the fam and let them just enjoy while I dunk on Harmon. Because you know what? I like supporting indie devs. I like what...
Good for you, Gar. Good for you, man. I'm enjoying that with the horror trailer reactions and demo gameplays. I am getting a lot more traction from those indie devs, and I've been offered game codes. Unfortunately, most of the ones that I've been given are VR related, and I don't do VR because I will throw the fuck up very quickly. So I don't do those. Also, hello, Powerbrush. How you doing, my friend? I'm doing okay. I'm tired. I'm getting through it. But yeah. I'm here because I have the time. Unfortunately, I don't normally, like I said earlier, because I have senior dogs and they have needs that need to be taken care of. And that means that I can't be upstairs in my room to stream. So, yeah. Apologies for being kind of MIA for a while.
What they do and what they bring to the table, the innovation that they bring to the table. And this...
You support me as an indie creator? Gara, like, are you going to support my books?
No. No. Cry about it. You're not an indie dev. I wouldn't even call you really a writer. Because whatever you write is not... It's smut. It's disgusting, kinky smut. That's poorly put to paper.
Looks like I don't think you will. Little shit.
No, because you're disgusting, and why would anybody want to give you money? I only did it the one time because I was forced to. Via Dono goal. So... I'm not going to be doing that this time. Because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take your transcripts. I'm taking your transcripts from your audiobooks, and I'm going to read those. I'm going to copy and paste those into a Word document, and I'm going to read that way, because I don't want to give you any more money. Nope. Nope. Fuck you.
If you enjoy Metrovanias, I do suggest you to pick up this game, because you know what, though?
That is not a Metroid-like. That's a Castlevania clone.
You do realize that Castlevania and Metroid are very, very similar. That's why they're called Metroidvanias, you dumb fuck. Are you idiotic? You're supposed to be the Nintendo guy. You should know that Metroidvania is Metroid, Castlevania merged together, you fucking dumbass.
Not very good.
This game, just like I was. But without further ado, fam, let's just go ahead and dive right into that content.
Apparently all of gaming YouTube is comprised of financially illiterate retards.
You really are God's perfect idiot, aren't you?
I'm sorry, I don't hear this from the person that literally said it would cost you thousands upon thousands of dollars just to get into PC before the RAM thing.
Yeah, it wouldn't before the RAM problem. Now that the RAM problem's a problem, and it's a thing, yes, you're probably going to have a lot of trouble building a PC. Sorry. Unfortunately. Wait, I just got here. Is Harmon? Yes, he is. Yes, he is, Power Boss. Gara sent this to me. He's probably going to look at it on stream today, but I wanted to get there and laugh at it first, because I'm dying of fucking joy watching this guy, this heathen, this... I wouldn't even say Nurglite, because Nurgle wouldn't take him. I'm very aware of why you think he shouldn't breed, because he's fucking stupid. You should know this, not knew the Metroidvania thanks to Wario Land games. Exactly.
with the AI spun
Yep,
out
yep.
in absolute control. Yeah,
That's
if you were going to build a PC right now with high-end RAM, yeah, it's going to cost you a lot. But before it happened, yeah, you're the same person that pushed that narrative.
Which is what is he saying? That, like,
He's saying that your argument was invalid until recently. Because you're fucking stupid. See, you think you're a writer, but you have the literal comprehension of a rock. I don't pretend, or I don't believe you're pretending to be stupid. I think you are actually stupid.
PC wasn't expensive before the price hikes. It was. Like,
It wasn't nearly as expensive as you think it is. Because your ass has to buy multiple consoles. Ours will last for like 10 years. 10 years plus if you take care of it well enough. There are people who still have the 30 series that haven't changed. And don't need to.
what does he mean by this? Like, oh, Harmon, you were right. Oh,
Let's make this bigger. Why not? There we go. Now you can actually see shit. Yes, I am having a furry meltdown. I don't know who writes worse, Steven Danizer and Shadowlands or Harmon. I'd say Harmon, but Shadowlands completely disrespected Warcraft. I would rather they disrespected Warcraft than deal with the amount of actual disgusting degeneracy that Harmon puts out. Which I could do better. But we have to get to 2K subscribers first for that. How many do we have left on that? How many do we need for that? I think it's around 77 or something like that. Nope. 79. 79 more subs and we'll get there. 79 more subs and I have to write smut. Which I'm not excited for. At all. Because y'all don't need to know how degenerate I am. But at least I will admit that I'm a degenerate. This guy will pretend he's some kind of, I don't know, philosopher, some kind of revolutionary. Bro, you're fucking gross. I've got a 2060 Super. Does that count? Yes. You're one of the ones that have held onto your shit for a long time. You don't need to upgrade as often as you do with a fucking game console. And we run everything.
oh, you were wrong because the prices went up after you said something. Like, this guy's a retard.
You just literally misinterpreted what he said because you can't comprehend the English language. I'm speaking slowly so that your fucking dumbass brain can understand what I am saying to you. He said that prior to the RAM shortage or the RAM inflation due to AI, your argument that it would cost thousands of dollars to make a PC to run games was wrong and invalid. The only reason it's valid now is because of the RAM crisis. You're welcome. I've interpreted it for you. Absolute fucking idiot.
What does that mean? Why all these people are constantly gloom and dooming about Nintendo. They don't understand the economy. They don't understand the stock market.
You don't understand the stock market either. I wouldn't even start to begin talking about this shit like you understand what the stock market is, because you don't. If you can't understand the words that are coming out of Gara's mouth, you don't understand the stock market. There's no fucking way.
Understand anything. This is why they are all broke bum.
Hey, excuse me, is this coming from the person that probably doesn't have a vehicle to his name or a house?
I don't think you have a vehicle to your name either. And I don't think that house is yours. I think it's probably your parents, and you live in their basement, on their dime, on an allowance.
Because let's be honest here, we have no idea what you live in at all, dude. Even though we've seen thousands upon
a house. I live in a house that I own.
We can't even debate if you're living in a shed.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Man, I'm having PTSD flashbacks every time that comes up. If there's one thing I will never underestimate, it's women and their degen. I've seen what y'all read. I know you have. There's book talk for a reason. And I won't say that I am any better than that. I just don't put my shit on TikTok.
Or your mother's basement at this point. Because at this point, it's really up for debate. And honestly, you want to call
Exactly. Sources, Armin. Sources. I don't want to see your docs information. But I don't believe you when you say that you own a house. I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Us broke? Really? You can't even afford a decent PC when it was affordable at the time. You have a shitty little laptop that can barely run Sonic Frontier, not Sonic Frontiers, but Sonic.
Love that Chris Tucker reference from Rush Hour, by the way. Keklamau. It's bad that I know about that. Dude, I've said from the jump, women are worse than men in every way. We just hide it better. Or at least until recently. Now that book talk is a thing, yeah, we can't hide that shit anymore. Nope. And Instagram. If you go deep enough in Instagram, oh, the shit you'll find.
Adventures. I don't want to.
What? Sonic Adventure is fucking broken on PC. Like, does he not?
Harmon, I will give Harmon that. Sonic Adventure is broken. I know that because my husband went through a whole thing of playing all the Sonic Adventure games that are on Steam to get all the achievements. And yes, Sonic Adventure is broken. You have to get a mod, or you have to, like, really fiddle with the settings in order to get it to work. He's right about that, and I'm not happy that I have to ding Gara on that, because Gara apparently didn't know. But yeah. No PC can really run Sonic Adventure properly. And hubby has pretty much the same specs that I do. He's got Babs 2.0. So...
Does he not know that? Like, so what happens when you try to play Sonic Adventure on PC is that, like, it overclocks, and so what happens is that, like, Sonic, like, zips around way faster than you can possibly control. So, like, what you have to do, and this is why, like, PC gaming is retarded, what you have to do is go into the settings and, like, cripple it so...
No, that's not why PC gaming is retarded. PC gaming is not retarded. It is way more, infinitely better than your stupid Nintendo Switch 2, which I have. And I've seen it just yesterday. I've seen some amazingly hilarious, amazing chef's kiss hilarious levels of glitches on Scarlet and Violet, even with the Switch 2 version. So don't come here telling me that that's any better than the PC, because it's not. I could play all of your games, and I could play everybody's games with legal emulation. The thing that you dreadedly hate, the word that you despise, emulation. Go fuck yourself.
So, like, it goes at a more reasonable speed. So that's what he's talking about, but, like, that was something I had to do intentionally. You know, it had to do with my PC. My PC is excellent. Or it was. It is slightly out of date now, and I'm going to replace it soon. But it's like, this is just wrong. Honestly, like...
Yeah, you can play the Dreamcast or GameCube version. But I'm talking about, he is correct in that it is broken through Steam. The Steam version of it that you could buy on there is broken. But again, he's right. You have to mess with it in order to get it to work. I'm not gonna say that he's incorrect, because he's not. He's not.
Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Damn word from you, Brokey.
So allow me, someone with money, to explain what's...
What fucking money? What fucking money? There's no way in hell that you make any money off your books, which you're gonna say that you do. And you admit you don't have a job, which I know exactly why you don't have a job, and it's not for the reason that you give here.
Actually happening here. Like, oh...
Hold on, I gotta do something. Hold on. Okay, the glass isn't dirty. I want to make sure. Because I know there are multiple instances where he's using a dirty as fuck glass to drink his water out of. I'm sorry, he eats his water. It's disgusting.
I'm trying my best not to lose my mind at that comment. He says he has money, even though he, on his own streams, he bitches and complains nobody ever helps him or gives him handouts or anything. Or even...
Exactly. You do. We've seen it. We've seen the clips of it, Harmon. So which is it? You have money and you're okay, and you're financially literate, or you don't have money and you need people to send you money from your tips. You need more tips. DSP 3.0.
It helps him, like, get a job or anything.
Yeah, I'm struggling to find a job, right? That's what...
You're struggling to find a job, and I'm going to let you finish on why. And then I'm going to say what I think is the actual reason why.
What I'm complaining about. It's not the money, because I'm making plenty of money on book sales, and a little bit of money on YouTube.
You're not making anything on book sales, come on. There's a meme that said, women are too classy to watch Prawn, but they'll read the heck out of it in reference to 50 Shades if only they knew. Oh, no. Women prefer the book version of stuff. Why? Because you can imagine it in your own head as you would like it to be, based upon what is being put into words, especially when they go into graphic detail. That shit, holy fuck. Better than porn. Better than porn, I would argue. I want to see Harmon try to weasel out of this one. I'm going to let him finish again. I'm going to let him finish on why he says he doesn't have a job. It's definitely not the reason why. Yeah, you don't get much selling novel. I haven't gained much on mine, but not complaining, just doing it for the enjoyment. Hey, if you've got a good book, I bet you it's better than Harmon's. I bet you it's a better book than Harmon's. Anything that he's ever put out. Anything he's ever put out, I bet it's better. And also, thank you again to Ed Shadowbearer for the 5. I appreciate you.
I wanted it to work a normal job on top of that, but like nobody's hiring, and everybody
No, there are plenty of people hiring.
is just really obnoxious about it. It's just like these people get downright offended if you like ask them for a job, and like they it's disgusting. And I've been very vocal about this for years. This isn't like a new thing. I find myself like very against like this kind of work culture, and I actually do want to like do something to try and correct it. You know, I'm trying to like come up with all these ideas to kind of like circumvent these people and more heavily punish them while like getting
You have absolutely no power to do that, Harmon. You have a power fantasy that is just that, a fantasy. The reason you aren't getting employment is because you don't understand how to properly do it. There are websites where you can apply for shit. But I highly doubt you could put together a coherent and cohesive and good-looking resume that anybody would want to see or hire you based upon. They also would look into your YouTube shit because your name is attached to your fucking YouTube channel. So when they background check you, they will find all of this shit you're saying online. And guess what? Employers don't want your ass because you are a disgusting pig who is openly racist, who's openly misogynist to a degree where it is uncannily, I would guess, comedic. So there is no way it's because people dislike you coming and applying for them, because you can very easily walk into a place that says they're hiring on the front of it and ask for an application, or better yet, ask them where they can apply on, or you can apply online. So this response and this reasoning why you can't get a job, I call complete bullshit on. It's because you're lazy. You have an egotistical complex, a narcissistic complex, I would argue, to where you think you don't have to be like everybody else. You don't have to work the regular 9 to 5. And the fact that you think that you can change workplace culture, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You really think you could do anything, don't you? You think you can change workplace culture with the minimal attention that you get, because you don't get any serious attention. You get mocked and you get mogged constantly, like I'm doing right now. You can't write a book to save your life, because I've read one of them. I'm going to read another. They're god-awful. I've read your fanfictions. They're god-awful too. How anybody likes it, I don't know. You think that your stuff and your ideas are better than that of J.R.R. Tolkien, the king of fantasy lore and worlds, and the creation of that. You think that Harry Potter is better than that. Oh my god, you're fucking stupid. Whatever fantasy land you live in, stay there. Because I don't want you in the actual reality that we live in. Why do you think I keep my internet shit separate from my real name and face? It's because I don't want this shit coming back during a job interview. Exactly. Not to mention there are state agencies that help as well. Exactly. I got my recent job through Work for Warriors, which is a great, great organization that helps veterans find work. Decent work. And I've been at this job for almost a decade, so yeah. There are ways to do it, Harmon. You're just too fat and lazy and stupid and self-absorbed to do it.
Like more rights and like ability to gain experience, like without necessarily having to go into debt or to get a job. You know, like that's kind of how I feel about it at this point. Like you can't respect these people. Like if you're like me and you're in this position where you're just kind of like, oh yeah, I just need to work like 20, 30 hours a week, streaming, writing books the rest of the time, and like interacting with like the dregs of society. It's very, very disheartening, honestly.
It's disheartening because it makes you get out of your fucking basement and you hate the light, Gollum. That's an insult to Gollum, actually. What? Harmon can't get a job? Exactly. I'm happily retired for 6 years now. Bro, I'm envious. Old man.
It is like, it is downright ridiculous. And I wanted to do everything I possibly could to avoid it, but like I wasn't quite at the point, the level I wanted to be at before leaving my last job. It's entirely just, I wanted to work like another 5 years, save up a ton of money, invest, stabilize my YouTube presence specifically, sell more books. I wanted to do all this stuff, and yet like the rug was pulled out under me, like through no fault of my own. And when that happened,
If you got laid off, that sucks, but it happens. The fact that you haven't been able to recover from that is hilarious, and I would say pitiful, but I don't pity you.
and like nobody like helped me find my next job or like prepare or like train. Yeah, of course.
Nobody's gonna do that. You have to do it for yourself. You have to do it for yourself. If you can't do it for yourself, that's more reason why people don't want to hire you, Hartman. Ooh. Duh.
I have a problem with that. It doesn't have anything to do with me and what I've been accomplishing, because I've accomplished quite a lot since I've left the job, actually. But like, it's entirely the fault of other people, and that's something that I feel very strongly about, and something that I always will advocate for. Like, I keep saying people like try and say that like it's my fault, but like the simple reality is like if it was my
It is your fault. It might not be your fault you lost your job. If you were laid off, that sucks, but I can't verify that. I'm just gonna go on your word on that one that you got laid off. Which I highly doubt. You probably said something that got you fucking fired, knowing you. But it's your fault that you haven't made the effort to go and find a job, to put in the actual effort to get one. I can't, if he was fired, hilarious. But I don't know that for sure. I'm going to be generous in thinking or giving him that he was let go through no fault of his own. But even then, you still are fucking gross.
Fault. This would be affecting other avenues of my life. But in actuality, like I do work very hard. I do obtain new skills very quickly. I am willing to like work long, hard hours. And
I don't think you are. If you had the ability to learn new skills, you would be going out and doing it. You would be putting in the effort. There are plenty of free shit that plenty of free courses that you could find where you can learn more new skills. There are plenty of jobs out there where you could get in that are entry level that you can work, but you won't because you're lazy. You fat fuck.
And yet, like, the world doesn't accept that because they don't like the fact that I'm so much more financially stable than them. Like these people are just so desperate.
Financially stable, but you don't have a job, and you're begging for donations on stream at DSP 3.0. Actions speak a lot louder than your words, my dude. And your actions tell me you're lying.
To find someone they can push around and abuse, that they get very, very upset at someone who has like a stable business outside of a standard work environment. So,
he's only doing part-time jobs.
It's not your fault that you got laid off. It is your fault that you didn't put the work to find another stable job. YouTube is a job, but it's shit one and it's not stable. My speculation read, I'm openly admitting I don't know, but I'm basing it off his YouTube, his Twitter posts, and everything known about him. Oh, I wouldn't be shocked if he got himself fired because of that shit. But I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt and being generous, which I don't need to be.
Bro, there's no way your broke ass is literally pumping out your chest right now, thinking that you got money.
So the reason the stock price surged was because of the Switch 2 announcement, and now
it's dropped off like a rug pull because nobody has any faith in your Switch because you have no flagship titles. You have nothing that makes people want to buy it. The only reason I got it is because of ZA, as I wanted to be able to shiny hunt, and being able to better shiny hunt with Scarlet and Violet. It's the only reason why I got it.
He's so stumped. He's trying to figure out a way how to justify everything right now.
I know you watched the video.
He's trying to justify it dipping down.
He did. He's laughing at you. The fact that you have to go, ah, like you had to stop yourself from saying something that was true. Yeah. And the fact that you are fidgeting so much, you're pressed. You're pressed.
Back to $16. That's not a good thing for a company. That literally shows that your stockholders that you rely on to keep your stocks up and make you look pretty in front of everybody. Well,
is that what you think shareholders do?
Yes, it's exactly what they do. If they don't think that the line is going to go up, they will start selling off their shares to keep a return on their investment so they aren't going in the negatives. Do you not understand how stocks work? How trading stocks works, Harmon? Because it seems like you don't.
Dude, is he retarded? Like, is that all he thinks they...
It shows that they're not very confident in you.
Now, overall, the stock has been going up. Just look at how much it's gone up.
Yes, it's been going up. But what's that other part here? Let's go find it out. Nintendo ADR. Let's look at this. It's not going for a day. Let's go 3 years. If you've dropped to where you were, or close to where you were in January, over a 2-month span, that's a bad thing, my dude. That means people have no faith in your shit.
24, right?
Yes, which is a good thing for Nintendo. You want the stock to go up, right? You want that line to keep going up. But here's the problem, though, Harmon.
That's not actually possible. You're insane.
That's what the shareholders want, though, Harmon. That's what the shareholders want. They want stock price to go up so they make more return on their investment. So they have more money in their portfolio. I don't think you understand why stocks are the way they are or how they work. How about the reason the stock dipped was because hundreds of shareholders sold their shares because they were not confident in the company's performance. That's why there's a dip. Exactly. They're getting the fuck out while it's still high. If your shit ballooned in the matter of a year and then goes halfway down again in a matter of 2 months, there's a problem, my dude.
If you want that, if you think the stock is going to go up indefinitely, that's not how it works. Everyone.
But that's what they want. That's what they want, Harmon. That's the point of buying a stock low and selling high. You want line to go up.
It's perfectly normal.
Line is crashing.
No, it's not.
It's not perfectly normal for it to drop like that in the matter of 2 months. It is not. That is close to a rug pull.
And that should be a big worry for Nintendo right there.
So many people like making all these weird allegations regarding.
He's so angry because he's getting mogged. He's getting absolutely fucked and he has no way to get out of it.
Like the stock prices and switch to place on the market. They keep making up all these claims that like RAM prices are lowering up, are spooking investors, and that there's all these.
You know it's right. That's why you stumbled. You stumbled and you fumbled your words because you know he's right. Idiot. Okay, I'm done with this. I'm done. Let's watch some Joe from Seattle, yeah? About the EA news. The fact they sold their shares after the holiday season isn't a good thing. No, it was before, during the holiday season. They started in the beginning of November. From what that chart showed. Beginning of November, they started selling shit off. Yeah, it's bad. Anyways, let's see what Joe has to say.
Well, today didn't set a great precedent for the rest of the AAA gaming industry, but it does give me an opportunity to use this meme again. And, you know, who am I to deny you old memes? What do you come to this channel for, if not old...
Memes are great. I love the Heller meme. I love the Heller meme. Don't you guys love the Heller meme? I do.
Old memes and completely pointless commentary, with topics broken up by old memes. Borther, do you have lamp? But you'll have to forgive me for not feeling extremely funny today, or any other day, or ever. I'm not funny. Please shoot me in the head. But today is the day that Anthem is shutting down, and as much as I like to dump on AAA games, especially EA AAA games being completely off the mark, and as much as I love laughing at the failures of AAA developers who think they know better than the people who are actually buying their products, I do at least want to have some kind of acknowledgement.
You miss Anthem? I never played it. I barely played Titanfall, the first one, because it just wasn't my thing. I'm not a huge multiplayer game player. Like, I get tilted way too easily, and it just isn't my bag, you know? Also, YouTube thing, like, share, and subscribe. We're 79 away from me having to write smut and read it on stream. I will literally earn my mommy Gooner name. Good God.
Of the fact that this is kind of uncharted territory. Granted, it's not the first AAA game to just be shut down in its entirety or be yoinked away from people who actually paid for it. Shit, it's not even the fastest time that's happened. Concord was only like a year and a half ago. But something about Anthem's shutdown stings a little extra, and I think I can explain why. Because as much of a failure as this game was, and as much of a frustration as this game was, to those of us who are actually there in the moment, this just feels wrong to me. And it's situations like this that are the whole reason that we have the Stop Killing Games initiative in the first place. It's stuff like this that makes people concerned when offline single-player games require an online connection to get to. It's stuff like this that made PC gamers so frustrated at Sony for requiring a third-party account to play their own games on Steam, even if they were games like Ghost of Tsushima, or God of War Ragnarok, or Spider-Man 2, games that have no real online component. You know, Ghost of Tsushima's multiplayer notwithstanding, but this idea that you can buy the game, you can download the game, but then you can't play the game unless there's an additional online check, despite the game not having online components of any kind, that is just wrong, and the reason that's wrong...
I agree, it's fucked up. If it's just a single-player game, why does it need to be online? Why do I need to hook up to a third-party fucking service to play a single-player game? That makes no sense. None.
Wrong is because it allows this to happen. And you can say to yourself, Joe, you're overreacting. You can say to all the people like me that we're overreacting because this game wouldn't be shut down if it had been successful. To which I would respond, there have been plenty of unsuccessful games throughout gaming history that were not yoinked away from the people who actually did buy and support them. There have been plenty of unsuccessful games throughout gaming history that were made much better through support from the fans. There were games that were not successful, games that were not appealing, but they had a sandbox that could be used to make something appealing, and that would maybe ignite some creativity or some passion in a future game developer. And if that's not...
The reason it's shut down is because they want you to go to next game. And they don't want to pay the money to keep the servers up. And they don't want to turn it over to somebody else so that they can create their own servers to make it continue. They just want to take shit away. And I don't like it.
Not worth anything, then I don't even know what's worth anything anywhere at any time. Everywhere all at once is worth nothing, and we're all useless. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel before you perish into dust. But also, not to plug myself, but I'm reminded of this video that I made a while back, responding to a lad who was saying that the people who were upset about not owning their games on the Switch 2, and in a lot of ways not even owning their Switch 2 system, that those people were overreacting because it's not like there was an epidemic of games being taken away from people. And I'm also reminded of all the times I've responded to people arguing that people like me are putting too much stock into these user agreements, that you don't actually own your games, but why do you care so much? You don't actually own your games, you're just licensing your games, but it's not like they're gonna take the games away from you. And I can't help but respond the same way that I always do. These publishers would not be giving themselves the power to take games away from you unless they were at least considering the option of doing so at some point.
Yeah, and they don't want to pay for the money. They don't want to pay the money to keep the servers up either. I know gotchas are like that. Oh, absolutely. Gotchas, I hate gotchas. I try to stay away from them as much as possible. Like, the last one I played was, I mean, you get TCG, technically. The TCG, Pokemon TCG game that's on, Android. This is the last one that I was playing, and I haven't played that in, like, a year now. Or, like, half a year, at least. Because I'd rather spend my money on shit that's, like, more fun. Like, Res 9. And Code Vein 2. And Pathologic 3. I need to play the Pathologic series at some point. I've got so much shit in the backlog that I need to play, and I just haven't had time to play it because I haven't been at my computer.
Massive user agreements and licensing agreements for games that didn't used to exist. These excessive online checks and online requirements for games, these things didn't used to exist. And I now just want to look at the people who used to justify these things by saying, well, yeah, the game requires an online connection, but everyone has internet these days. Yeah, the game requires an online connection, but all the content is still there. They're not going to take it away from you. Headlines like this prove that they absolutely will take the game away from you if they feel like they want to. There is no logistical reason why Anthem cannot be played offline, by the way. There's no logistical reason why this game cannot be turned into a peer-to-peer connection-based game, or even an offline-only game. The game is perfectly playable in single player, and there are bots programmed into the game if you are playing single player. So explain to me why this game cannot remain on the market as a single player game with bots in place of human players. You can't argue that the game relies on human players. That's just not the case. My internet just went out.
Lol and yet Gara trolled too close to the sun yesterday and Scroll kidnapped him for 2 10 pulls on Umemasume. Of course he did. I still play Magic the Gathering. I'm guessing that's the online version of Magic the Gathering. I don't play Magic, but my husband likes it, and I got him a box of the Final Fantasy crossover set. And opened it with him, and he had such a good time. It was fucking adorable watching him open that stuff up. It was so cute.
That's fun. I hope that doesn't impact my day. And I do want to point some attention to this headline.
I bet it did. I bet it impacted your day, and I'm sorry that your internet went out.
Down here from Vice. I really don't like the coverage that this is getting. And it's reasons like this that I actually think this sets a very grim precedent for the rest of the industry in a way that games like The Crew shutting down or Concord shutting down did not. There seems to be this justification going around that because the game was a failure and because it's attached to a major company like BioWare, then it is at least partially excusable for it to be shutting down. BioWare's biggest failure is about to shut down forever. BioWare's biggest failure shuts down today. I just don't like this coverage. Also, lol at Push Square having a nearly identical headline to Vice. Insert joke about how...
Yeah, they all copy each other. This is what they do, Shaw. We all know this already. We know this. This will be no joke. This is what we already know. They all copy each other because they're lazy. I have tons of physical cards as well, but my local card game store closed down. Damn, that sucks. I don't have any local ones around me. I'm lucky if I get Pokemon TCG from, like, a little Pokemon Center machine.
Push Square is literally not capable of doing something without leeching off something else. And, oh, my internet came back. Cool. That was fun. Not today, mobile hotspot. And even though I never enjoyed Anthem because I was playing better games at the time, also known as other games at the time, there is something very grim about the precedent being set of a 5-year-old game, 6-year-old game, however long it's been, being completely yoinked out of people's hands regardless of how much time or money they sunk into it.
And this is why we don't like that everybody's trying to go to digital on the cloud. Because you don't own anything. It's gonna go... They're taking it away from you. Your shit's gone.
This absolutely is not a precedent that should be set. If I pay for the game, especially since this was a game that was widely distributed physically, if you don't want to support the game, that is honestly okay. But you need to be giving me the option to continue playing it. There is no reason that this game needs to be deleted from existence, especially not this long after release. Who benefits from this game being pulled away? Who benefits from that? You weren't generating any revenue from this game for years. Why are you shutting it down now? And frankly, I can tell you why they shut it down now. Because BioWare is trying to make a comeback. EA is trying to fix their reputation again, which means they need to curate their library. They need to curate their history, which means games that they can't.
That makes sense. You need to get rid of the games that suck. You probably would have been better if you'd done Vanguard right. But not Vanguard, Veilguard right. And hadn't royally fucked up the Dragon Age series. But of course you did. So here we are.
And get away with erasing from their library, erasing from the EA tab of the PlayStation Store or the Steam Store, games that can be erased from BioWare's tab of those storefronts. Why not get rid of them? Why would they continue to have that little stain when they can just, ooh, we slipped on the button and now it's gone, and everyone who would have spent money on this game has probably moved on from it. So get rid of it. But that's just the point. Even if this was a completely victimless crime, even if nobody on the planet was ever going to play Anthem ever again, and they removing the game from sale and removing support for the game, or even if that literally had no impact on anyone's gaming experience ever again, this would still be a wrong thing to do. It is still a
Exactly. You should make an offline mode for this stuff. You should be preparing for that. I don't know why people aren't doing that. Oh, I know, because it's too expensive and they don't want to put the money into it. So something really needs a DRM less port. I agree. Thankfully, I won't be going back to that because I've already 100%ed it. And 4. I want to play more 5, but I have to stream myself do it, or not stream myself, record myself doing that. And I don't have a lot of time to sit on the computer. This is literally the longest I've been on my computer for like the last 2 weeks. Yeah, that tells you everything.
Deletion of gaming history. A full-on deletion of it. There is no logistical reason why it needs to happen. There's no licensing reason why this had to happen. It's not like there's elements of this game that they didn't want to renew the licenses of, and they couldn't renew the licenses of in order to keep it on sale. And that's why this one stings more than games like, I don't know, The Crew, where there's a bunch of licensing that Ubisoft just couldn't be fucked to renew. Or a game like Concord, where it's a similar situation, but it's just kind of funnier. Anthem has been deleted from sale purely to keep up appearances. And that is fucking wrong. And it sets a very...
I agree. It's a very bad precedent to be setting, and we are well aware that it's a very bad precedent to be setting. But this is where we are, and that's why I hope Stop Killing Games is more successful in its endeavors, because we need that badly.
Very grim precedent for the rest of the industry, and every game that has you sign a user agreement, every game that you don't technically own, all of these games can be taken away from you if the publisher feels like they need to keep up appearances. Why do you think Ubisoft has that line in their user agreement about how if they choose to delete a game from digital sales, you're also expected to destroy your physical copies of it? No one's actually going to do that, but I've said it before, I'll say it again. They wouldn't give themselves that kind of power if they weren't at least considering implementing it. This is what it looks like when they implement it. You may not have cared about Anthem, but if they did it to Anthem, they can do it to a game you do care about, and that is fucking wrong. So I hope there's major pushback on this. I really do. But because it's Anthem, I don't think there will be, and that's what concerns me. This is what the boiling frog in the gaming industry looks like. Sure, these policies and user agreements apply to an infinite number of games that I do care about, but they're not being enforced towards games that I care about, so I'm not...
Exactly. That's the problem. Or PC as a whole. Exactly. That's the problem with what's going on lately, is that people don't realize how important it is to push back on the small things before they get massive and they snowball to the point where it's a fucking avalanche and you can't get out of it. Because it's gonna keep happening to other games. It's gonna be other games that people like to play. And eventually, it's going to become commonplace if we don't push back on it. And we don't, vote with our wallets. It's a huge problem. It's a massive problem. And yet, there are so many people that don't understand that. Especially the fanboys. The normies, I understand. You're not paying attention to the stuff you don't understand. You just know game, play game go by. But yeah. For context, Hellfire, Microsoft is already putting ads on Xbox Cloud Gaming. Even though you have the Ultimate, you still get ads. Yep. I'm aware. Yeah, I'm aware. It's really bad. It's really bad. They're pushing you more for less. And I don't like it. Yep. My PC's gonna be fine for a while, so I'm not worried about it, but still. It's very, very scary.
Going to raise a stink about it. I could not give a shit less about Anthem, and yet I'm raising the stink, because the reasoning and justification for Anthem being pulled from sale can be applied to any number of games that I do care about, and that is a fucking problem. Doofus Club time. Sad Doofus Club hours. Hashtag real sad Doofus Club hours. Mayo Setsuna, I don't know how to fucking pronounce that.
Alrighty. Next. Time for some Power World things from Fratanga. For titties. Only the free tier has ads. Huh. I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually the truth, though, Power Boss. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens very, very soon.
How can I be a virgin if I'm paying child support next Tuesday? No, I'm not paying for my wife's boyfriend's new kid. Are we buying Pokemon cards or not?
Oh my god, now's not the time to be a Pokemon fan unless you're absolutely loaded with cash. Seriously, Pokemon fans either have too much money or their parents have too much money. It's either one of the two. Grown-ass adults with so much money, and yet they choose to spend it on toys that are absolutely overpriced.
Yeah. But I will say what I said in one of Fritz's videos on Pokemon TCG in the community. I don't believe it is the actual community that of people that play the card game for leisure or they collect, like actual collectors. I don't think they're the problem when it comes to the gross amount of markups for Pokemon cards and the sets. The situation right now is not because of them. It's because of the scalpers. It's because of Logan Paul hyping this shit up and scamming people when it comes to Pokemon cards. Because yes, he has scammed people. If you don't know about it, go find Kavos and his coverage of it. It's fucking gross. It's not us. It's not the typical player me that does that. It's not me. It's the scalpers that use bots or will sit outside of a fucking Walmart and buy up all the stock. It's them that's the problem. It's them that's the problem, not the normal like collector or TCG player.
And meanwhile, Power World is making big moves to undermine Pokemon Company again. For Tango Plays here, welcome back to the channel. There is so much to talk about today. We're going to dive into all of it. So I'm glad you could join me. And stay tuned till the end. I made a new beat. If you want to hear it, it'll be at the very end of the video. Also, don't forget to subscribe. We broke 123,000 subs. The next goal is 130,000.
Yeah, guys, don't forget to subscribe. We're at 1921. We are trying to get to 2K. If we get to 2K, I have to write smut and read it on stream. And you guys can judge me all you want about my proclivities. We'll go with that. Yeah. Anyways, like, share, subscribe, yes.
Don't forget to use the hype feature, boost this video's visibility, and get me 4,000 likes, and perhaps you might see me dressed like this. Oy vey.
You were really funny, and then you went too far.
All right. Pointless intro out of the way, let's get to it. It's official, Power World declares war on Pokemon, and more than in just video games. And remember last year, there were...
I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually interested in this. I'm gonna see how it goes. I want to see more of the cards, because I might start collecting. I might. I'm interested. But I don't know yet. We'll see.
There were rumors about how Pocket Pair wanted to do their own trading card game similar to Pokemon, and they were just rumors. There's no official confirmation until right now, today, as you can see here. Pocket Pair and Bushy Road announced a Power World official trading card game coming July 30th, 2026. Oh, let's go! Finally, someone's making a card game, and you know this one's gonna be for adults. So
I mean, there's also some other card games called like Eternals. I think it is. Or no, Illustrials. That's what it is. There's another one that's recently come out as of like I think last year. That's pretty decent looking, and it probably is better than Pokemon, but still, it's not mainstream yet. This one will probably be more mainstream.
You don't have to worry about an awkward situation where adults are throwing little kids out of line to get their Pokemon cards. No, Meat Canyon wasn't exaggerating. That really is how it goes. I have witnessed it with my own two eyes. One day I'll talk
Yes,
about
they're
it.
scalpers. They're not collectors. It's not collectors that are doing that. It's scalpers that are doing that again.
It's a very, very, very pathetic story about how two adults nearly threw fists at each other because of the Pokemon card vending machine at a Fred Meyer. Well, the internet is reacting exactly how I would expect them to react, and that is to rub it in Pokemon Company and Nintendo's face, as I will right now. I'm gonna rub it all over their face. Oh my god.
You have Illustrials made by A-Drive. I know of... I used to watch Shady Penguin consistently, and he is a part owner of that company. And I know they're trying to make a game. They had a Kickstarter for a game, and I'm interested in seeing that. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see how that all goes.
It's amazing. It's mostly sexual.
Unfortunately, one of them is Stuttering Craig, but even he's celebrating it. Now Power World has to just be trolling Nintendo, right? I don't care if they're trolling them. I don't care if they're serious. I want to see Power World cards in retail, right next to Pokemon cards on a shelf. I want to see that. And I know you do too. Now, of course, I don't think this is going to be sold in mass retail. I'm pretty sure this will only be sold on a website. But I want to be there to buy the first edition of these cards, because if it flops and they never make cards again, I will have the first edition of very rare cards on my hands. Actual scarcity, actual rare cards on like Pokemon cards. Power World is an insane industry plant that entirely relies on Pokemon to thrive. Genuinely, leachy as IP.
It's not Lychee if it's doing better. Are you gonna say that about Cassette Beasts? Are you gonna say that about every other, like, monster catching game? Because the only one you seem to have a problem with is Power World, because it's doing better than Pokemon right now. Kind of makes it easy to see where your, like, priorities lie. And how stupid you are.
Shut the fuck up. If I could call you that special F word I call most people, I would. But you two wouldn't be too happy or thrilled about that. An industry plant has got to be the most insane accusation against this game. This is an indie game made on a shoestring budget. It succeeded because it filled a necessary market in the PC community. There's a bunch of Pokemon-like clones on the PC platform. People call them Pokemon clones, but really they're just monster taming games. We're supposed to pretend Pokemon invented that when it did it, so I'm not going to call it a Pokemon clone. But people have wanted something like this out of Pokemon for a while, and sorry to say, but Pocket Pair provided. That's Nintendo's own fault for not wanting to cater to any mature audience or provide a bigger experience.
The game is still being made. The Illustrials one? Or Power World? I'm thinking you mean the Illustrials one, yeah. I know there was a Kickstarter for it.
experience. It doesn't rely on Pokemon for shit. These two would have never crossed paths if Nintendo and the Pokemon Company didn't get so envious. Yeah, Power World is getting an official trading card game. Everybody's talking about it. It's a big deal because expectations are going to be high. People really want Pocket Pair to succeed and thrive. I mean, I know I do, because the last thing we need right now is one single trading card game that's that popular. One single monster gaming game that's that popular. We need some diversity. No, I'm not going full DEI on you. I'm talking about a different type of diversity.
I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh guy. I used to be a Yu-Gi-Oh guy. I stopped around the synchros. 5Ds is the last area that I was involved in because it just got way too complicated for me, and I was like, nah, fuck that.
So the news comes to us from Dextero. Power World is officially making the jump from survival sandbox to tabletop with a new trading card game launching on July.
And I'm glad that I stopped playing it because from what I understand, it's not fun anymore. It's not fun anymore from what I gather.
30. According to details shared on the game's official website, the Power World TCG is designed as a two-player competitive card game built around the same core ideas that made the creature collecting survival game so popular. I am interested to see how different the rules are here, because there's one thing I don't like about Pokemon, it's the element cards. I hate that shit. I don't really like the Pokemon trading card game itself, unless we're talking about the one that was for Game Boy, but when you play it in real life, it ain't that fun. So this game is gonna have to do something different.
I don't play it either, I just collect it. I think I'm right when I say this, but I feel Pokemon is only staying relevant due to people buying cards, opening them on stream, and selling them for money. Yeah, that's part of it. It's also all the Poketubers that make countless amounts of content for it. Or for the games. Yeah.
And I'm curious to see how it's going to play, how you summon pals onto the battlefield, how you power them up, how you take turns, how you win, all of it. And on top of that, they need to make an online version of this. They need a digital trading card version of the game where you can battle people online. Players will deploy different pals, use their unique traits.
Yeah, they need to do that for sure, because that would be very smart on their part to do something like the TCG Pocket, or just the Pokemon TCG Online. I don't know what it's called anymore, but they definitely should do that. I agree. Synchros and XYZ are great. Pendulums are things where things went wrong. I got no idea. I haven't touched it, so I would not know, but I will take your word for it. I will take your word for it.
Gather resources and build bases as they battle toward victory. Build bases, huh? Rather than being a simple reskin, the card game is structured to mirror Power World's mix of creature collecting base management and tactical combat. Each pal brings its own abilities to the table, allowing players to create different strategies depending on which companions they put into play. The press release states that players will fight alongside their pal companions while facing off against opponents, with matches focused on strategic and tactical battles that reward smart deployment and synergy between cards. Team up with your trusty pals and experience.
I mean, it's pretty much like Pokemon. I'm not gonna get too far into this. I'm just gonna get into the salt. We don't need to hear what it is. We have an idea. It's similar to the Pokemon TCG. It's similar to most TCG games. Yeah.
That's the best part. You know that Game Freak and Nintendo want to put an end to this as soon as possible.
Of course
they
do.
Didn't do shit about it. The devs never broke any rules. They didn't do anything illegal. Hell, not even anything shady at that. And every single month, we get an update. The Pocket Pair just pushing it further and further. I want them at one point to make a Power World anime, and I want them to have a theme that starts like this. I want to be the very best. And that's it. Like every other.
That would be really stupid. I wouldn't want that for it. That would get them really clapped. That would get them very clapped. Let's not do that. Let's not give Nintendo and Pokemon Incorporated any reason to go after them more than they already are.
Lyric after that is different, but the first lyrics are exactly the same. That would be hilarious. That would be gold. I would love that. Please do it. Do everything you can to give those CEOs over there at Nintendo a heart attack. This is going to be short-lived. Maybe. Honestly, we'll never be.
Yeah, probably. There are a lot of card games that just drop off. And at least they're giving it a shot.
Pokemon! Well, Power World is already better than Pokemon. 40-year-olds are about to go crazy at Target. But yeah, the usual. Nintendo fans are taking this as a direct attack to their precious intellectual property. They don't want it to exist. But too bad, so sad. Pokemon won't be the only monster taming game. Hell, it might not even be the most popular one in a few years. One day, something bigger is going to happen and Pokemon will fall behind. And I will love to see that crowd lose their collective minds.
Yeah, it's going to be really funny to see. It's going to be so funny to see. Because honestly, shit has just gone so sideways for Pokemon. They've stopped giving a fuck.
I hate these Pokemon guys. Every time they bend over, you gotta see their hairy ass crack with pimples on it. It's that crowd. We need them as far away from us as possible. They are a plague to society and young men all around. If you know people who participate in buying Pokemon cards, games, plushies, and invested in it, stay away from them. Those people are not right in the head. And while Power World announced that, can you guess what Pokemon announced today? Get ready. You will not believe the levels of greed I am about to reveal to you. Pokemon decided to partner with Lego, and now they want to make Lego.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's pretty fucking gross. I'm not interested in it at all. But I think we get the gist of this video. Let's go to something different. Do I want to do more Harmon? No, not really. I will do Dreamcast Guy, though. Let's do some Dreamcast Guy here. Bethesda is dead.
They were talking about the...
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. This. Oh man, this is gonna be really funny. Because yes, we already know that frickin' Bethesda is screwed. They've screwed the pooch way too many times. We're well aware of this. You're not pointing out anything new, Dreamcast Guy. But let's see what you actually say.
death of Bethesda, because there's been a crazy interview by one of the main people at Bethesda, the guy who actually wrote pretty much every fantastic Bethesda game. We're talking literally the writer of Skyrim, literally the guy who's basically behind the best jokes and coolest satire in Fallout, the writer of Elder Scrolls. He has come out after 23 years and left Bethesda and basically said the studio is just gone inside. Apparently, they plan.
Yeah, that's how most, like, studios, or what are these, legacy studios, that have been back from, like, when games were good, they're rotted from the core. They're rotted to the core. Because it's corporatized. Yeah, and? Tell me something I didn't already know.
Planned on making the Elder Scrolls 6 11 years ago, and instead they decided to waste time with stuff like Fallout 76 and Starfield. And I want to talk about this interview because a lot of people are really picking it apart and seeing this as such a sign about.
Except he's not what, Power Boss? Except he's not what? You need to explain further on that, because I don't know what you're referencing from. Hey, Hell, was that Harmon video where he reacted to one of Gara's? Yes, it was recent. It was recent. Gara sent me that on the 16th, so 2 days ago. So maybe it was the day before, like maybe 3 or 4 days old. So yeah, it's very recent.
How bleak this industry is. With these crazy dev times, at this point, most of the AAA studios are putting out like one game a year at this point. And even when they do, it's like...
Yeah, like PlayStation, putting out like no games most years. And again, and question mark.
Oh, sorry, your game didn't sell 50 million copies. Your studio's just dead. And it sounds like Bethesda has just gotten lazy, so up their own ass, and just in general, it seems like they've forgotten what makes Bethesda games Bethesda games. And what's really...
Most legacy studios have. Kurt Kurtzman, dude, he wasn't the main lore writer for all Elder Scrolls. Maybe not, but he's right in saying that everything is rotted to the core. Bethesda's not Bethesda anymore. We know that for a fact.
Really weird. It's not even Xbox's fault for once, but let's talk. I hope you're having a great day, and if you...
Oh, for once. Oh, yeah, really? It's not even Xbox's fault for once. Most of the shit that you attribute to Xbox is not their fault. Like the Call of Duty shit. It's not Xbox's fault. Call of Duty is up their own ass and getting absolutely fucked for it.
Could please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, this was an extremely long, in-depth interview by Kirk Coolman over here on PC Gamer, and I want to go through it, and I want to go through a bunch of the reactions, the entire internet.
Let's just go to the reactions, because I've already seen this. He's just basically saying that Elder Scrolls 6 was supposed to be the next game after Fallout. Todd Howard allegedly promised him a lead role for the Elder Scrolls 6. Didn't happen. They decided that they were going to do Fallout 76 and then Starfield after that. And yeah, none of this can be substantiated, really. This is just he said, she said.
Is literally the guy. Now, you cannot undermine this. I feel like sometimes whenever there's like a big leak or a talk like this, people go, oh, it's just whatever series. Elder Scrolls, I feel like one of the things that makes Elder Scrolls the most crazy to me, especially Skyrim, especially Morrowind, I think these games are so culturally deep. They're so much different rival.
They are. They're very culturally deep, and people don't want to deal with that. People don't want to do that anymore. They don't want to put the work into it. Bethesda included.
Factions and cool world building. You can literally pick up every single book on the shelf and read pages and pages of histories and battles and wars and stuff like that, right? This guy cares more about a video game universe than maybe any other writer on the planet. And so because of it, apparently he was told specifically by Todd Howard for over a decade, you are going to be the director of Elder Scrolls 6, and it turned out Todd just
can't be substantiated. It can't be substantiated. That's basically just going off hearsay. Unless he can provide proof of that shit. Okay, but you can't substantiate.
Lied. So this is it. Elder Scrolls 6 was supposed to be their next game after Fallout 4. You know, I was thinking about this yesterday, actually. Fallout 4 came out, 16 years ago? No, why am I saying that? It came out in 2015, so that came out 11 years ago. So 11 years ago, he said, yeah, that's going to be our next big project. Todd Howard promised him lead design role of Elder Scrolls 6, only to find out 11 years later, they went with someone else.
Dude, you could have just read that second line and you would have got the right fucking amount of years. You would have got the right number.
So this confirms two things at once. It does confirm the fact that Elder Scrolls 6 is their next project, for whatever size, shape, or that finally ends up becoming. But to me, it is kind of just a signal about the fact that I do feel like, as much as Todd Howard gets praised, at least in the past, it does feel like...
Yeah, in the past. He doesn't get praised anymore. Everybody is sick and tired of his bullshit. Everybody's sick and tired of his bullshit. It's funny that Todd Howard is really short. It is really, really funny. But don't rag on my fellow short people, motherfuckers.
I do feel like he has sort of a pro-corporate vibe now, where he's not about creatives figuring stuff out. It is really just, we're going to go with the safest choice possible. The vibe at Bethesda was very different after Skyrim's success. Gloom was co-lead on Skyrim. This is something I have heard a lot. I don't want to leak specific names, specific studios.
Okay, I'm going to skip some of this shit. I just want to see, the responses.
About buying stuff and just instantly running into the ground. I mean, even Call of Duty.
Claims in an illegal filing, Call of Duty sales in 2025 were 60% lower compared to 2024. Yeah, because they are putting out crap. And nobody likes it. They become loot box central. So, yeah, nobody likes it. Good morning, Oleander. I'm short as well. Yay. One of my peepo.
Look at that. Jesus Christ, the sales are down by 60% instantly, right? But it also goes down to the fact that I do think that in a lot of ways, whenever studios get acquired, the out-facing PR is already so positive. It's instantly like, well, now we can just focus on the games. We don't have to worry about all those sales numbers. But it almost seems like Bethesda has this weird obsession with like trying to make the most perfect games of all time, and they end up putting out nothing in the process.
Or they have people at the top that are cutting the legs out from under their devs. And they keep changing what they want to do because it's taken them so long to deal with it that, like, 2 generations of consoles has come out.
Of course, after Fallout 4, we didn't do Elder Scrolls 6, we made Fallout 76, and even then, we didn't make the Elder Scrolls 6, we made Starfield, which became this extremely long project compared to the other ones. Now, I've seen a lot of reactions specifically about that. I love Starfield. There's no way in hell I would have asked for it over the Elder Scrolls 6. What did Todd mean by this? Anyways, I'm very sad that Kluman left. Sounds like he wasn't treated very well, which stings even more. Bethesda keeps digging their hole, unfortunately.
I mean, they've been digging it since Skyrim. I mean, the Wolfenstein games were okay. But yeah, no, they haven't been good in a long time. Yeah, that's not shocking whatsoever. Why are you shocked?
Look, even the biggest Starfield fan on the planet, even the biggest person on the planet thinks, wow, Starfield's got such good shipbuilding, it's so zen. I have one friend in real life, shout out to him if he sees this video. He has played hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of Starfield because he says it's so calming. He likes just flying around in a ship and like going against space pirates and stuff. But even then, I think he would even admit, it's not a good Bethesda game. It doesn't have cool quests, it doesn't have cool, like, interesting, weird ideas or aliens and stuff.
Yeah, if you want to play alien, like, exploring game, just play No Man's Sky. Just play No Man's Sky, it's better.
Boring, giant, empty sandbox. And they spent a decade purely on that big, empty sandbox. The talk is they're trying to, like, rebuild Starfield and relaunch it like they did with Cyberpunk 2077, but I just don't think you can really go back to that well. Kluman left Bethesda in 2023 after over 20 years. He says the problems of Bethesda predate the Microsoft acquisition.
Yeah, we already know.
It's going to be like the Empire. It's not sound like the craziest thing ever. Look at this. This confirms that Elder Scrolls 6 was about the Thalmor winning, and Elder Scrolls 7 would have been about the game finishing the Thalmor story, the Second Great War. The Elder Scrolls as a franchise is so grossly mismanaged, and it's depressing to know that the Elder Scrolls 6 isn't even close to release. You know,
yeah, it is pretty rude. It is. I'll agree with Synth Potato here. It is very, very sad because I know there were a lot of people that were really excited for Elder Scrolls 6. My husband was excited up until, like, I don't know, a decade ago, when, like, all we've gotten is an announcement that it's in progress. It's in program. They're in production, and nothing since. I think that Elder Scrolls is almost on par with GTA, with how long it takes them to fucking, like, get a game out. Because Elder Scrolls is going to be the new meme instead of GTA 6. We already know GTA 6 is supposed to come out this year. It's supposed to.
Maybe that's the craziest thing, all right? This dude probably still did a ton of writing on Elder Scrolls 6, sort of setting up the world and the lore, being a lore master for decades and decades and decades. There's a good chance that when the Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, it's still maybe 5 years away. This stuff just takes too long in the oven. I almost feel like, look, you can say what you want about Skyrim. You can say that Skyrim has been re-released too many times. You can say Skyrim has been hyped too long. You can say that Skyrim's got a lot of quests that don't really need to be there, right? But undeniably, it is a big, complete world that they made on a very short deadline. Think about the fact that Bethesda, on just the Xbox 360, did Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, we had Elder Scrolls 4, and we had Skyrim. And all of them came out with DLC, all of them came out with complete features, all of them just came out back to back to back to back to back. And then once Skyrim came out, it almost felt like they just hit a wall. Like, they just stopped making stuff for so dang long.
Yeah, probably because they're trying to continue to, like, up them. They need to top themselves. And trying to top themselves and probably having way too many ideas, they have not put in any time on deciding on what actually they want to do. Also, Morning Spectre. It's just it. That's how it is.
Long. I almost feel like that's part of the reason a lot of people really hate on Fallout 4. It's not that Fallout 4 is like the worst game ever, or even necessarily a bad Fallout, but after the heights of Skyrim and all the promise and potential and growth between those titles, you know, Fallout 4 kind of just seemed like a bit of a nothing game. And I feel like now I almost think that in a lot of ways...
Yeah, because Fallout 4 arguably doesn't match up to Fallout New Vegas. Fallout New Vegas arguably is the best Fallout game. And it wasn't a Fallout New Vegas.
Trust Bethesda to make a good Elder Scrolls 6 after how bad they bungled freaking Starfield. I mean, this is the Starfield studio, and they're still using the same engine. They still have a lot of the same team. What do you really expect? It's insane to think about the influence and hype of the Elder Scrolls games leading up to Skyrim. A game that has 25,000 active players daily, and Bethesda were like, let's not make another one of these for 14 years. I gotta admit that this interview to me feels very, very, very bleak. Because
Morning Hellfire, hope your morning is going well. Mine's okay. Currently playing P4 Golden. Just realized how much I grinded in the game. Yep, that's how I grinded, and it took me forever to beat. At least Skyrim, they added mod support. Yeah, exactly. And I don't think they have done that with Starfield, have they? It's bad. It's just bad.
Because I think it does signal that the problem inside of the game industry isn't just not enough budget. It's not enough timelines. It's not enough just raw potential. It's not enough hype. It's not enough work hours. It is just the fact that, honestly, this bureaucratic version of art, committee via creation, it's something...
New Vegas is art. No, I'm not just saying that because Mr. House. Yeah, I know. It's one of the best games that's come out, arguably. That people still talk about constantly today. Starfield has tons of mod support. Oh, it does? I wouldn't know. I don't play that shit. So, I never was into, like... I'll be honest, I never was really into Fallout or Skyrim or Starfield. It just wasn't my thing. But I know, arguably, from everything that I've seen and heard about the games, I'm pretty well read on these games.
Something that I feel like is killing some of the best ideas. I think that's part of the reason I'm so excited for Judas, the new project obviously by the creator of BioShock, because he purposely took his favorite people that worked on the first 3 BioShock games and he went and made a separate team, a tinier side studio, and Judas has taken a very, very long time to come out. Obviously, we still don't even have a release date, but I almost want to see what a creative person with a bunch of creative people locked in a room...
I mean, we've seen what happens when somebody from Ubisoft makes a team of Ubisoft ex-employees, and we got one of the best games ever made. So, yeah. I'm good with this one. We've got a new person that we're going to look at, and I'm probably going to close it out with an Alex video. So we got maybe a couple more in the chamber. Legendary Badass. So this one I found through Nukem Nintendo. He mentioned him in one of the videos that I have in the playlist. I'll probably do some more of this tomorrow because I'm not going to be able to get through all this today. I have some stuff that I have to do, so I have to probably dip by 10 the next, like, half an hour. But this is a new person. Defending game keycards. Oh boy. We have a new little troll, and while I'm at it, our new little salt mine to completely body all the time. So let's throw this in Fanboys so that I can keep an eye on him. Why don't we get into it?
Now, the Nintendo Switch 2 has been out for a while, and it seems one of its most divisive features is the game key card. Now, I'm someone who came over...
Yes, because the key card is not actually the game. You're paying for a physical copy without getting an actual physical copy, which is what even diehard Nintendo fanboys are completely against.
To Nintendo from Xbox. I was looking at PlayStation going, I see a little bit of what you're doing, but it's lesbians everywhere. And Nintendo, you know what? I've got to like...
What? Hold on, play that back.
Now, the Nintendo Switch 2 has been out for a while, and it seems one of its most divisive features is the game key card. Now, I'm someone who came over to Nintendo from Xbox. I was looking at PlayStation going, I see a little bit of what you're doing, but it's lesbians everywhere. And Nintendo...
So, you don't have a problem with the overpriced... Oh god, this is a lot. You don't have a problem with the overpriced bullshit. You don't have a problem with the lack of games. You have a problem that there are lesbians in there. And that's why you went to Nintendo. Monday?
Oh, you know what? I've got a lot catching up to do with you guys. So with the choice being clear, I obviously went with Nintendo. But I think I'm in a fairly unique situation. See, I've been on Game Pass, exploring digital libraries, not having to get up and swap discs out of my console endlessly. I was on that digital life. And now I'm on a console where people like to collect things. Unless they're game key cards, of course. And
yeah, because game key cards are obsolete. Once they decide, oh, we could just take away your download, because it's not on the actual key card. It's a download. Lowest expectations. Yeah, what? What? Fucking what?
This Yakuza 0 is on game key card. Now, it looks like a pretty standard box right here. When you open it up, yeah, we didn't really go to a lot of extra effort. We didn't include a booklet or anything over there at Sega. And we put the game on this.
The game is not actually on that. It's not actually on that. You put it into your system and you download it from the store. It's not actually on there.
Looks like a game, except, well, it's not really. It is essentially registering you, saying you have a license to use the game that you downloaded on a game key card. Now...
Okay, so why is it a good thing? Why is it a good thing that you can't own your games? Like, actually own them. Don't tell them about Vivian. Lol. Paid for fake physical game. Let's all point and laugh. Oh, we're pointing and laughing. I'm gonna send this to Gara, too. Hold on, let me do that really quick. If he doesn't already know about this guy. I found a new cow to tip is what I said when I sent that link. Ugh. Ugh.
I'm going to be playing devil's advocate here, actually defending the use of game key cards. Bear with me. Now, sure, publishers like spending less money on a license on a stick game keycard versus a full game released on a game card. Let us not forget that devs have their reasons to go with game keycards as well.
Yeah, because they don't have a choice. Nintendo is not giving them the choice. Who cares? Let the lesbians have representation. I agree. I like lesbians. I'm a bisexual woman, so yeah, I don't care. What Nintendo is doing should be or is illegal because you are false advertising your customers and just ripping them off. And I recall the physical copies are $90. Yeah, they're getting there. They're flexible depending on the game. Some of them aren't. Some of them are getting there.
The Nintendo Switch 2's game cards just do not load that fast. Mario Kart World.
But you still own your game. Even when the fucking entire shop goes down, you own your game. You could play it anywhere at any time without connecting to the internet. Like, you have your game forever. These keycards, that's not the case. I don't care if it takes it a while to load up. I don't care. I know that I physically own that game, and I can play it whenever I want, and nobody can take it away from me. That's not the case with these keycards, dumbass.
World installed on internal storage loads 30% faster than on a game keycard. Obviously, there are genres where this will be a great benefit. Utilizing game keycards, I would like for publishers to reduce prices, but that's unlikely to happen in this age of greed. But at the very least, we should see physical releases alongside the digital instead of later. You know, trying to entice you to get that digital purchase, looking at you, Hades 2, the next generation Xbox, if that ever happens. What are the chances it's going to have any kind of slot to load a disc? Now the place.
You're not defending keycards. You're just rambling. So what's the whole point of this video? I'm not. I'm not seeing any defense here. You're just rambling and basically making my point for me.
PlayStation 6, maybe. Sony loves their Blu-rays. Say I'm done with Yakuza 0 over here. I can trade that game in. And publishers really don't want you trading in games. Buying and selling, forget that. Buy it from the shop. Always give.
That's all the more reason for you to be pissed about it. It's all the more reason for you to be pissed about it. Because what if the game fucking sucks? What if the game fucking sucks? You can't get a refund, but you can sell it at a GameStop and get something out of it. Unlike Steam, where you can refund your shit and get full reimbursement. Hi, Golden Apples, how you doing? He is doing it like everyone else, just running down the runtime, get those ads on their videos, and getting money off them. Yeah, probably. Physical media is real media. Key cards are the gaming equivalent of crypto. I agree. Legendary Jackass. Oh, he is. He is a legendary jackass. I would rather play a real plastic physical game at 20 FPS than a 4 times fat. It's 4 times slower than a fake. Yeah, exactly. I'd rather have the physical media because then I can play it whenever. Like, this is stupid.
Give us a cut. I think that game keycards offer you that choice. Yeah, sure, you could just buy straight from the eShop, and there are games where I would like to do that instead of actually on the card. Kirby Air Riders. Oh, now I gotta get up, pop the card in. Anytime some friends want to air ride. No, if you download it digitally, well, it's there, waiting for you.
Yeah, but they could take that away from you at any moment if they wanted to. You just care about convenience. You don't care about conserving and, like, you don't care about conserving media. You don't care. You're not a gamer. You don't fucking care about anybody or the people the community that plays these games. I'm gonna laugh if he's one of those guys where this shit gets taken away and he just cries and cries and bitches and complains. We can just point at these videos. You were okay with it. You're part of the problem. You're why this happened. You capitulated. Is it Mirrors? No, I don't think he does. I don't think he does. Also, keep in mind he's on 2 times speed, so that's probably not exactly how he talks. I miss when games came with a booklet to read. Oh my god, me too. Oh, those were the days, man. We didn't know what we had until it was gone.
But for a story-driven game, and considering that many are going to exceed that 64GB game card limit, it is nice to have something to trade in. Even though you can say, well, how long is it going to be supported in the store? Oh, maybe it's going to get pulled and your game key card's no good. But 20 years from...
You just invalidated your entire fucking argument, you dumbass. Irrelevant dumbass, you just invalidated your entire fucking argument. Holy shit.
Now, are you going to be playing on a different system that doesn't support the game card slot anyway? Even though we live in the post-game rental era, it would still seem...
We don't want that. We do not want that, dumbass. We do not want that. We want to be able to still use physical media. Why? You're not defending anything. You're giving half-assed, I don't know, reasoning, excuses. But you're not defending shit. Fuck me. Only the true OG gamers remember when booklets had to learn the lore of fighting game characters, or even the lore in other games. Nowadays, it's just codes for or skins and extra content. Exactly. It's fucking terrible. The reason why people are fine with it on Steam is because despite not owning their games, everything about their TOS treats you like you do own the games. Exactly. 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 That's why we like Steam. We like GOG more because you actually own your stuff. But Steam is the premier place to go for this stuff. Good God.
Seem as though publishers would prefer for you to buy essentially a brand spanking new digital download, then get a card that would allow you to trade something in when you're done with their game. Like many of you.
So why are you defending it? Why are you defending it? You're not actually defending it. You're giving us all the reasons why it's bad. Man, I miss when games came with a book inside with art and character descriptions. I remember opening the case on the bus home just to get more hyped. Yep. Digital media is fine, but it's not when they're trying to make that the only option you have, Tyler. Because then you don't actually own your games, essentially. Unless you're on Steam or GOG. Because otherwise, they've got it in fine print that they can just take that shit away from you whenever they want. I almost got into a fight with my local GameStop manager over game key cards. He was trying to defend it. That's fucking stupid. I'm so glad the GameStop by my house just closed down. Because nobody cares. Nobody went to it anymore. It was just Pops. It was a glorified Pop store. Physical media will always be relevant because people love collecting stuff. People have loved collecting stuff since the dawn of time. Exactly.
I do like to have the full game on the card, and I think it's very respectable of Nintendo to allow that for the time being. But when they start making games that exceed 64 gigabytes and maybe the gameplay necessitates quicker loading, what are you going to do? I mean, I would prefer...
Optimize your shit so it's not 64 gigabytes. Hello? Do better. Stop taking shit away. Just do better.
Prefer to have something other than strictly a digital purchase.
It's literally a digital purchase. That's what it is. Or you, but... Huh?
Or hell, you might even be able to collect this. I mean, look, it's Yakuza 0. Yep, still works. In 30 years, you know, eBay, you hit this up.
You're stupid. Oh my god, you're fucking dumb. Oh my god, you're fucking stupid. Holy shit.
Oh, you can't do that for digital purchase. Oh, but the game keycard's the ultimate evil now, isn't it?
Hey, it's Vaughn's mom again. No, it's just an excuse. Alright, we're gonna close this out with some Alex, I think. We'll close this out with some Daddy. Where's Daddy? Give me Daddy. There's Daddy.
What if I...
Daddy. Also, Daddy, you need to go get a haircut. Poppy, you need a haircut. Poppy, you need a fucking haircut. It's getting a little long, my dude. Just saying. Literally a legendary jackass. Yeah, I have a Steam trying to find a middle ground. It's hard to find happy stuff these days, but still, I'll say that physical media is better for archive and fun stuff. Some digital spots can't, I'll say. Exactly. Was that it? Absolutely stupid. Yeah, it wasn't even a defense video. It was just fucking bad. The video's fucking bad. We'll see if Gara reacts to it today, because I sent it to him. Holy shit, that was the dumbest, like, 10 minutes I've spent. I've just lost 10 minutes of time. Holy fuck.
I told you the gaming industry is incapable of actually learning a viable lesson in anything.
No, I believe you because it's correct. It's 100% correct. They don't learn a lesson. They don't. Why does he look like he's about to sing We Are Number One? Because that's Alex. That's Alex for you. He would. He fucking would. For the meme. In his banana suit.
It's ever done. I know. You'll be shocked.
Bug him to... Oh my god. Bug him until he gets a Robbie Rotten cosplay. That would be fucking hysterical. Oh, that'd be hysterical.
Paul, to hear that. But the thing is, it's absolutely 100% true. And it doesn't matter what brand of games you like to play on or what system or platform you like to play on as well. Every single gaming company is going to do everything they can to squeeze out and eke out every dollar out of your back pocket. And they're going to do it.
Yep. They're doing it already. They've been doing it. Game key cards are an example of it. NVIDIA, and it's horrendous. Oh, you can only play for 100 hours a month if you pay for this massive amount of money on a monthly basis. Oh no. Fuck you for that.
it in any way possible. You see, there's been some really insane conversations happening around video games, especially
When I upgrade or when I change my shit, eventually, I'm not going NVIDIA. No. Fuck no.
last few months, not only with the ridiculous RAM prices, not only with the actual cost of games themselves, but at the same time, the fact that game consoles are increasing in price exponentially. They may even see a third price increase this generation, but even then, having next gen being possibly delayed due to the issues with the actual RAM prices, like we said before, the fact that game companies, studios, publishers, even C-suite executives do not understand what gamers in fact want, and all they see are dollar signs being pushed around by every other studio and think they can emulate that exact same thing. And a great
Yeah, exactly. They don't care about putting out quality content. They just want to put out something fast that they can make a buck on and monetize the living hell out of. And put loot boxes in. That's all they care about. That's all they've ever cared about. Ever.
Great example is Expedition 33. We saw this game, made by a bunch of Ubisoft firees, go around and make it themselves, decide they're going to put the game out, and it completely sweeps the actual Game Awards, wins every single award you could possibly imagine, and at the same time sells millions of copies at $50, giving people a game that they haven't expected or wanted to play in a genre that many thought was dead or that doesn't make any money. Clearly signaling that the gaming industry itself is too bloated and too large for its own good. In fact, we've seen this.
Yeah, we're seeing it happen in real time. Companies are putting in millions by millions of dollars into these huge budget games, these huge AAA, quadruple A games, and they fail because they just don't understand what the player base wants. They just don't. They don't understand that what we want is something that's a good story, that looks good, that we can play without having fucking pop-ups of, oh, you should buy this skin, you should buy this loot box to get this skin. We don't want that. We don't want that. Fucking stop. Stop. That's why I go with Steam. I'd rather pay, like, less money for something. Buy it on fucking sale.
This happened before, where Activision themselves said Call of Duty was in fact too big to fail, and then fail, it actually did. But what's really funny is, I can literally point to one singular moment in the gaming industry and extrapolate that and expose it to the entire last few years we've been dealing with as actual customers and consumers, and that's during a BlizzCon convention.
Have you ever thought about adding servers for previous expansions as they were then?
No. And by the way, you don't want that to do that either. You think you do, but you don't.
That's right, this is when J. Allen Brack...
Excuse me? I need to hear that again. I need to hear this again.
Have you ever thought about adding servers for previous expansions as they were then?
No. And by the way, you don't want that to do that either. You think you do, but you don't.
That's right, this is when J. Allen Brack...
Don't fucking tell me what I want and what I don't want. There are countless people for countless games that want to be able to play older versions or different, like, content from older games because the nostalgia is there. People want that. And for you to sit there and tell us that's not what we want when we are asking you because we want it, you are literally shooting yourself in the foot. You don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't spit into the wind, and you don't tell gamers what we want and what we don't want. Those are the three things you don't fucking do. Yes, that's from a song. That answer to attendee was fucking stupid. Oh yeah, I'm currently in the process of wrapping up the build for my game. Nice! Nice, man. That's awesome. I'd love to see some stuff about that. Because, I would love to be able to support. That would be great.
Brack at BlizzCon told an actual paying customer who bought World of Warcraft expansions, who was paying for World of Warcraft itself with a monthly subscription of $15, and telling them, you think you want this thing, you think you're gonna
Hey, Random Boy, thank you for being a member for 1 month. I appreciate you.
pay for this thing, but in reality, you don't want that. You want the slop that we're gonna give you. And then what happened just a few years later?
A lot. We're at the end. We're at the tail end of it, Random Boy. We're at the tail end of it. You missed a lot of shit. Watch the VOD. There's so much shit that was hilarious. This was a good fucking stream, honestly, content-wise.
Turns out that one kid in the hoodie was actually right, and everybody did in fact want Classic WoW to make a comeback. Those two examples, Expedition 33 and even so with World of Warcraft Classic, basically proves one thing and one thing only. Everybody in the gaming industry is too busy smelling their own farts to actually give you a good product at a decent price, and also they're doing everything they can to screw you and make things worse. But the crazy...
Yup, exactly. It's true that customers often doesn't know what they want, but it's because you aren't offering what they really want. I mean, they know what they want when they're asking about it. And I know I've seen that everywhere for a lot of different games that want games, like online games that they love, the servers as they were to come back. That's a well-known.
crazier part is this all connects back to Xbox and the Activision Blizzard deal. Because after all that money was spent, everything started coming out of the woodwork. A 30% profit margin having to be hit. Layoffs happening because of AI. $80 billion also spent by Microsoft because of AI as well. And then everyone crying and complaining that Xbox has no exclusives, even though we saw for the last 3+ years, everyone pants thinking that Xbox was going to make Call of Duty an exclusive. But again,
I know, that's so funny, isn't it? Can't wait to see what happened later. Oh, bro, it's funny. I'm excited Wednesday and Thursday to return to streaming myself. Nice, Power Boss. I miss streaming. I miss, like, playing on my PC a lot more than I thought I would. But unfortunately, there are priorities that need to be held, and my doggos come first, so until I can get them to a point where I can bring them upstairs and not worry about them shitting or pissing on the carpet, I'm gonna take... I can only stream when I can, unfortunately. Because I had so much momentum coming into this year, and then that just got completely derailed.
The lessons in the gaming industry still aren't taught to this day, because even at this very moment, there are still companies trying to make a quadruple A game. According to Tom Henderson, Eidos Montreal is developing an unannounced quadruple A game in Unreal Engine 5.
And watch that fucking fail. Watch that fucking fail real fast.
Here we go again. Quadruple A, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. That's what we're dealing with right now. Again, pulling out a Ubisoft playbook, because they tried that with Skull and Bones, remember? Yes, we're going to make a quadruple A game, spend hundreds of millions of dollars to charge you $80 for a video game, shove it full of microtransactions, and make sure we're going to make all of our money back and even then some, because we put 4 A's in front of the actual box art. Yeah, this is going to work out so wonderfully well, isn't it? Oh, with Unreal Engine 5, basically saying it's going to look like every other Unreal Engine 5 game too, have the stuttering issues, and you're going to dumb down every single mechanic and make it for the lowest common denominator. Basically having it be more of a movie than an actual game. Great job!
Yeah, that sounds so enticing. I'm so excited for that. That's totally gonna go over well and not lose you millions upon millions of money. No, dollars in... Oh my god. They never learn, they never learn. They just keep making things worse for themselves because they don't understand that the shit doesn't work, and there's idiots that'll still buy it.
Really wonderful. That's what everybody in fact wants, right? Another high guard to look at while everybody's wondering what happened to that game. We can clearly see in front of our eyes every single dev studio, every single publisher go around and try to sit there and promote their game in the absolute worst possible way, and they're actually Pikachu face shocked that nobody bought the fuck in the first place. But the thing is, it's not just Eidos Montreal making the mistake. No, it's not just every other studio making this mistake. No, it turns out that Microsoft may have made a $69 billion mistake by buying Activision Blizzard. And you'll never guess where that information came from. Because according to IGN, Bobby Kotick claims Activision, Call of Duty, and consoles are doing so poorly, it proves he was right to sell Activision Blizzard to Microsoft for $69 billion. Oh, Bobby Kotick, ever the...
That's hilarious. That is so fucking hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. Please let the game at least somehow run decently. Actually be decent. Yeah, yeah, all dollars, no cents exactly. It's not COVID times anymore. People don't have all day long to play games like they used to. You're not gonna make that kind of money again. That was a once-in-a-lifetime era for gaming. You need to adjust.
Snake, you slide devil, you. Always trying to convince someone else to catch a falling knife barehanded. Literally, those were his exact words when he talked about trying to bring back Guitar Hero. Yeah, he's why it's gone. But you see, Bobby Kotick may in fact be right about this. We've seen so many...
I mean, to be fair, Guitar Hero kind of fell off. It got way too big for its britches, and it started coming out with way too much shit. Yeah. I'll take that triple A, quadruple A, overpriced piece of crap game and fucking shove it where the sun don't shine, but not by... I don't know. I can't read. But I get what you're trying to say, Chris. The actual public launch is still a month away, but the beta period starts soon. As a warning, the game is still a work in progress during the beta, so things may be added or removed per feedback. Hey, find me in Discord or on Twitter and shoot me the link to it. I'll absolutely take a look at it and, you know, do a video on gameplay or whatnot. I'd love to help. I love that shit. That stuff's cool.
Other things happen in the gaming industry. The push towards $80 games by Nintendo. The fact that people are more than happy and willing to spend $100 for Grand Theft Auto 6. And to make matters even worse, the 2 price increases we've seen on consoles, the RAM shortage happening in the gaming industry, the fact that everything is getting more expensive, and also watching every other major company have their stocks completely plummet simply because they pushed too hard in one direction and they didn't understand what the actual market needed or what gamers in fact were willing to pay for.
And they don't understand that we don't have that kind of time to deal with it. Yeah, Guitar Hero did oversaturate itself. Honestly, the mainstream rhythm game space oversaturated itself. Yes, it did. Yeah. At least Rock Band, like, taught you how to play an actual guitar. Guitar Hero was way too much. It got way too much. There were way too many games coming out at once. It just was too much. But yeah, game studios are just fucking dumb. They don't understand what we want or what we need, and they just want to make more money with giving us, like, very little. And get more money out of us with loot boxes.
you know what? There's more to the story, so let's read the article and go from there. Bobby Kotick, who left Activision Blizzard at the end of 2023, having sold the company to Xbox maker Microsoft for $69 billion, is battling investors who claim he rigged the sale to keep his job and $400 million in change of control benefits, and to insulate himself from claims he knew about widespread at Activision. Kotick has denied any wrongdoing. The investors are led by Swedish pension funds.
Yeah. You knew exactly what was going on, dude, and you didn't do anything about it. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Sunjay AP Fonden, AP7, they have accused Kotick of rushing into the Microsoft merger and contend to the $95 per share takeover price was too low from the outset. AP7 names Kotick, Activision Blizzard, and its owner, Microsoft, as defendants. Do you see how absolutely insane the gaming industry is? This Swedish pension fund is trying to sue Bobby Kotick, Activision, and Microsoft because they didn't like the share price that the company was sold for at $95 a share. $69 billion apparently wasn't enough for these people. I want you to stop and take a step back and think about that. The next time the company says, we're too poor to charge you guys less money for our games, it's got to be $80 to $90, $95 a share. $69 billion with a B wasn't enough, and that's what they're claiming, and that's what they're trying to sue. But the thing is,
Yeah, because it's never enough. I have you on the list of people to give a key to, so I will let you know as soon as it's approved. Awesome. Thanks, Golden Apples. I will happily take some time to stream it. Because we want to support the community. I want to support indie devs. I want to give them the chance to, you know, have their game get out there. Like, that's important to me. It should be important to all gaming YouTubers. That's mostly why a lot of the games that I react to on my daily uploads are indie games. Yes, corporate greed, random guy. The most corporate greed. It's fucking gross. It's fucking gross. And people defend it. I don't know how, but they do.
More comes out from this story because apparently Bobby Kotick may have caught his hand in the cookie jar too, and so has Microsoft. As reported by GameFile, Kotick has issued his response to the allegations. In it, he accuses Swedish game company Embracer, which owns the rights to the likes of Tomb Raider, Dead Island, and Lord of the Rings, of being involved with the lawsuit and benefiting from it, something the company has denied. Part of Kotick's defense uses the declining financial performance of Activision Blizzard, Call of Duty, and the console market in recent years to back up his claim that selling Microsoft at $95 a share was the right thing to do at the time, and one quote in particular is being picked up by the Call of Duty community as a big interest. Saying, quote, "Today, given that console sales are at an all-time low and Call of Duty sales are off over 60% from the prior year, plaintiffs should be expressing extreme gratitude for the foresight Activision leadership demonstrated in consummating this transaction."
Wow. The audacity, the gumption, the unmitigated gall. I need to pull this up for this. Hold on. I need to pull this up. I have to. The unmitigated gall. I need to download that as something to use. What? Holy fuck. Holy fuck. I have no words for that. I am literally speechless at how fucking disgusting that is. I am so speechless. That's just gross.
This is exactly what everybody has been looking for, and in my opinion, the actual smoking gun of the gaming industry. I could dare even say everything we're seeing right now, every single major company, Nintendo, PlayStation, Microsoft, and etc., are literally all part of what I would probably consider to be a Ponzi scheme. Literally going around and siphoning money back and forth between companies, and then also working through to charge you as a customer more money for video games and even for hardware. Who knew this?
Yeah, exactly what's happening. It's a fucking Ponzi scheme. And it's gonna blow up eventually. It's gonna blow up in their faces because they're not gonna be able to they're not gonna be able to support it. They're not gonna be able to. I love it too, Spectre. There are two films that I see every year, like clockwork, on Christmas. How the Grinch Stole Christmas and Muppet Christmas Carol. If you haven't seen either of those movies, go watch them. They are fucking amazing. Just do it. Just do it.
Kind of deceit and issues could be occurring because of actual fucking video games of all things. The problem though is Bobby Kotick may not in fact be wrong. If we look back at what happened this past November in Circana, we've also noticed huge drops in terms of hardware sales and game sales as well, going back to numbers as low as the 1995 era in November. You know, November, the biggest sales month in the US period of all time. We're seeing companies do everything.
November. You know everything is fucked when Black Friday doesn't net you a shit ton of profit. That should be when people are buying like crazy. I know I bought a bunch of shit like crazy from Steam. Elf's a good one too, but my family has a tradition with Muppet Christmas Carol, and I'm very happy that my nephews have... They're not technically my cousins, but I call them my nephews because my cousin is like my older sister. My cousin's kids, my nephews, got introduced to Muppet Christmas Carol for the first time this year. That was very special. It was very special. And it's getting me all teary-eyed thinking about it.
They possibly can to increase monetization, to increase microtransactions, and not only compete for your time, but also compete in different facets as well. Microsoft buying ABK may not have been the actual deal they were looking.
Oh, they're panicking. They are panicking, Random Boy. They are definitely panicking. They know shit is wrong. They know they fucked up, but they're not gonna fix it. It's gonna get to the point where it's too much and they can't fix it. It's fucked.
Looking for in terms of trying to provide competition with exclusivity. What they were looking for with this purchase was actual IP ownership and using it to push revenue and profits across every conceivable platform whatsoever. This entire plan, the whole thing, was always in the actual motion since the very beginning. Microsoft knew what they were doing. Bobby Kotick knew the position that he was in, and everybody played along perfectly. And like I said before, we're not just looking at the impact of Call of Duty and its declining sales. No, what we're looking at is the impact of the gaming industry overall, because even Nintendo is feeling those same effects. According to VGC, Nintendo's share price has dropped 33% in the last 5 months.
That's a lot. Harmon, that's not good. You're saying that this is normal. It is not normal for it to dip like that. Not that far. There's no way you can tell me that's normal. No way.
Japan. As noted by GameSpot, Nintendo's share price dropped to 9,950 yen, $62.70 on Tuesday, the first time this price has dropped below 10,000 yen since April of 2025. Back in August of 2025, the share price reached a high point of 14,000 yen, the highest share price ever recorded for the company, but has dropped notably since then. While the reasons for the company's rise or fall in share price can only ever be speculated, it appears likely that the record high in August 2025 was due to the Switch 2 smashing sales records in Japan, and in the US the following June 2025 release.
It was, and now it's fallen off because people realize that there's nothing to keep it for. Yes, I love Nintendo taking L's. We all do, Discard. We all do. And everybody's just coping about it. Like, they don't realize how bad things are. Oh, the Switch 2 is better. Yeah, but you don't have anything to fucking play on it. Nothing good, at least. Besides Bonanza. Which is still kind of fucked. Like, what?
The subsequent drop can be attributed to such factors as a slowing of Switch 2 sales over Christmas, albeit still comfortably outselling its predecessor at this stage, and a lack of a killer app 6 months into the console's life. And this is where things are going to get worse before they get better. I've been talking about the video game crash happening again, like we saw previously in the 80s. The thing is, though, I think this is going to be a bigger bubble to burst, because I feel like companies like Nvidia, AMD, Intel, and so many others who are investing into AI, especially Microsoft, will also have that bubble.
Look at that. This is so disgusting. On every level. So disgusting. They are just cycling money between each other. Constantly. And you know what? That shit's gonna pop. It's gonna fail because they can't keep up. Let's hope now Nintendo finally gets off their asses and finally make a good product and not screwing their entire community over. Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. Not anytime soon, not until everything actually fails. That's what they get for making Metroid Prime 4 a terrible open world and betraying their longtime Metroid fans. Yup. Yup-a-dup. Dup-a-dup-dup.
Bubble burst as well, and that's where things are going to get even worse before they get better. We've seen dramatic changes in buyer shopping habits, especially over free-to-play games taking over a massive amount of the actual time space. We've seen a huge shift in player buying habits as well, and also the information by Circana pointing back to November of 2025 as one of the lowest years for hardware and game sales overall. Hell, the next playground was even outselling the PS5 digital and the Xbox Series consoles when that thing came out, and it's literally a Kinect device for $200. The gaming...
Yep. They want to squeeze us for more than we actually have, and that means that more people are not going to continue. They're going to go with the cheapest option that gives them more bang for their buck. PC does that. Even if the RAM prices are higher, PC's the one to go with. If you don't already have a gaming PC, get a pre-built.
Industry truly is incapable of understanding what people in fact want, and they're trying to push people even further into spreading open their wallets like Goatsy to reach in and pluck out every possible red cent they actually can, while not realizing that people are in fact spread far too thin. The fact that Activision, like I said before, had the gall and hubris to say that Call of Duty is too big to fail, and literally had it fail right in front of them, exposes all of this directly. And even Battlefield 6 had major issues as well, as 90% of their player base on Steam has completely dropped off. Meanwhile, games like Arc Raiders are still keeping the majority of their player base months after release, and you can clearly see exactly what's happening right now. People are tired of the big quadruple A, triple A game, and they're tired of spending $70 to $80 on video games, only to have to go into the game after buying it to spend more money to unlock the...
Yep. We're tired of it. People are wising up finally. Haha, 69 views, funny number, just saying. 100% PC's the best option right now. Absolutely. I think it's going to be that way for, like, the foreseeable future. I don't think that's going to change in my lifetime, at least.
Actual time restrictions to unlock the time gates, to buy more microtransactions. That's right, they're paying to pay for more in the game, not even play a fucking thing. In fact, IGN was able to pull more information about what Kotick said, and here it is. There is data to back up Kotick's claim about consoles. November 2025 was a shockingly terrible month for video game sales in the US. Indeed, it was the worst November in video game hardware unit sales and the worst in physical software dollar sales the US has seen since 1995. More specifically, hardware spending was down a whopping 27% year over year to $695 million, the lowest hardware spending total for November since 2005's $455 million. Even worse...
That's a lot. That is bad. That is a huge drop from what it usually is. That's terrible. That's fucking terrible. It's bad.
Unit sales reached 1.6 million, which is the lowest November total sales since 1995's 1.4. And that's representative of declines across the board. Xbox Series hardware sales were down
30 years. It is the worst it's been in 30 years. Think about that.
70% year over year. PS5 sales were down 40%, and combined unit sales of the Switch and Switch 2 were down over 10% from Switch sales last year, despite this being a launch year for the Switch 2. So it turns out Bobby Kotick may in fact be kind of right, or at least in the right direction of what is in fact going on. The thing is, though, that doesn't excuse the possibility of Bobby Kotick using Microsoft in order to skate away from ABK after all the allegations that happened, and at the same time sell the company and not be involved with the falling knife that is the video game industry. This entire industry, in my opinion, is built upon a foundation of sand, and things are starting to sink faster than anyone ever expected. Why do you think everybody's been so concerned about the Steam Machine price? Simply because this could be an actual replacement for video game consoles that are ever increasing in price. It's also why everyone's so
Yep. People have no true budget options for modern gaming. No, they don't. Which sucks. It really does. I feel bad for people because they're taking away... It's like with the Pokemon cards. They're taking away an escape for people because they want more money from you. It's not a hobby anymore. It's not an escape. For those of us who have Steam and have a backlog, we're good. We are good for the foreseeable future.
upset about AI increasing the cost of everything, and everybody also having concerns with not only just keeping a job, but actually the global economy at scale. We're seeing the gaming industry on its own do everything they possibly can to screw you as a customer, charge you for more, give you less, and at the same time cry poor, meaning that they're just taking everything back to the bank and doing something stupid like making a quadruple A game, when in reality all they have to do is lean into their strengths. Watching games like Hollow Knight, Expedition 33, Arc Raiders, and so many others completely destroy sales records, be able to have huge amounts of player bases, be able to go through and sell millions of copies, all the while having a cheaper price of entry, providing a better experience, and sticking to a specific niche while having more people enjoy that in the first place. And that's exactly what the game industry is in fact missing. We've seen too much homogenization across the industry as well, where everything has to be an RPG mechanic style game with specific action choices, or third-person cover-based adventure game with stealth elements, doing the exact same thing, hiding in a bush with the same sneak icon over their head across every single fucking game of when you've actually been alerted to the actual bad guys. It's so rote, it's so boring, and everybody hates it. And you can clearly see it happening across even games coming out right now. Games like Marathon that look like a DMT hallucination mess being vomited onto your screen.
Yeah, Marathon looks like ass, and I hope it fails even more than it already has. I'm glad I modded my fat PS2 because this is ridiculous. Oh yeah, it's fucking ridiculous as hell. It is so bad. It is so incredibly bad. The gaming industry is gonna have a crash. It's gonna crash big time. And when it does, I'm gonna laugh.
At the same time, you're seeing it also with Fair Games that has seen nothing in terms of its actual first trailer, which got dislike bombed to hell and back. And then there's High Guard with Jeff Keighley literally furiously masturbating to it, while on stage you're expecting something great, and you literally get just Overwatch with horses all over again. But the thing is, you can't even fap to the characters because they're not even well designed. The gaming industry is going to learn a valuable lesson, and that lesson is this: they need to listen to the people paying their paychecks, and that's you and me, the people actually buying the video games, the people playing them. And until they learn that, the AAA gaming space, or now the quadruple A gaming space, is going to be destined to fail, or we're going to be seeing the rise of indies literally take over and provide people different gaming experiences and different things altogether. We no longer need highfalutin ray tracing graphics. People no longer need to have the most eye-bleeding visuals they possibly can. What people want now is to get value for their dollar, and the AAA gaming space and every other publisher right now is not providing that, except for the ones that are focusing on that specifically. Devolver, New Blood, everybody else working on their specific kind of game, going through and providing a different type of experience for people to go out and explore and enjoy. The best example that I can come up with in my mind with that is Elden Ring. Watching Miyazaki and From Software literally make every single iteration of the Souls genre better and better, not by making it easier, not by making it more accessible, but by providing more people with the actual reason of wanting to play this game, enticing people who never wanted to play in the first place, giving them the tools and abilities to solve problems, and making the player not only feel smart, but also be able to beat the game as well, all because they solved their problem their own specific way. And that's what games are missing. That's what game design is missing. That's exactly why the industry has such a hard time being unable to actually capture anything, and why everything right now feels so boring, bland, and nobody wants to buy it. But you know what? I want to hear what you guys got to say about this.
Alrighty, guys. I think that Alex is correct. I think he's on the right track. He's got the right logic behind what he's saying. And this is just, it's gross. Everything is just fucking gross right now. Thank you guys for coming by. I might do another stream tomorrow morning because I have the day off because it's a federal holiday. I might come back again to finish some of the other stuff that I still have on the docket because I didn't get to do all of it. If I do, you guys will know. Until next time, have a good one. Stay safe. Bye.